What is up, everybody? How are you guys doing? I want to show you how to make drunken ribs with today's sponsor, Voodoo Ranger. Before we get into the beer, I want to show you how to make the dry rub you'll be using throughout the process. In a small yet sturdy bowl, we're going to be combining onion powder, garlic powder, white pepper, salt, smoked paprika, and dried oregano. Tiny spoon mix them until they're combined. We're going to be reserving about half of this rub for later. Make sure to sprinkle liberally all over your ribs, not forgetting to press it in. Don't forget the backside, because you want that back as tasty as your front. Wait, that sounds wrong. Anywho, I had to cut my ribs in half to cover in beer as I didn't have a vessel large enough to keep it in one piece. So after you're done situating it in whatever you're going to be using to soak these in, take your beer. I'm using New Belgium's 1554. I found it had a nice rich taste of chocolate and coffee notes while not being bitter, which is going to pair wonderfully to our pork ribs and dry rub. I used about 2 bottles to cover my ribs. While pressing down the saran wrap, afterwards, I left it a little loose as I knew I'd be flipping my ribs around halfway through the process to make sure they were covered in beer. Ultimately, you'd be leaving this in the fridge for around 24 hours. I went 22, so please don't judge me. The next day, you'll want to preheat your oven to 275 degrees, 135 Celsius, before we get started. You'll notice our ribs are a little darker from yesterday thanks to that beer. Make sure to pat them dry, as we'll be putting on another layer of that dry rub seasoning we saved from yesterday. Next, you'll want to grab enough tinfoil to wrap these up tightly. Now, I did make a mistake on this first one, as you're going to see a little hole peeking out there. I didn't wrap it tight enough to keep all the juices in, and you're going to want that tastiness for later when making a sauce to dip your ribs in. So learn from my mistakes. That, is forever on YouTube in this video. After you collect yourself, put them on a baking sheet on top of a rack and pop them into your oven. An hour in, though, you're going to want to make sure to flip them around for even cooking. Two hours later, make sure to place them conveniently next to your sponsor's beer and barbecue sauce. When unwrapping them, they should look like this. I know, they look kind of pale. Don't worry, we're going to take care of that. Normally, I'd take those leftover juices and make my own dipping sauce. However, I had an idea. Put those flavor juices into a pan on a low simmer and mix in about half a cup of your Voodoo Ranger barbecue sauce of choice. While that's reducing, we're going to get a wonderful, tasty crust on our pale ribs. Brushing on our Voodoo Ranger barbecue sauce, we're going to put our ribs underneath the broiler about 6 times, a few minutes each time, flipping them over and giving them a nice paint job. Afterwards, they should look like this. They'll have this nice crust, sticky on the outside and sweet, still very juicy and falling off the bone. The beer really helped elevate the flavor with these deep, almost chocolate tones, mixing well with our rub. Your enhanced Voodoo Ranger barbecue sauce, also while spicy, is very tangy and sweet, and I think you're gonna love it. Pairs well with some rice and some nice veggies, maybe some roasted broccoli. There you have it, everyone. Drunken ribs with my beer of choice. Whatever beer you choose to try, would be interesting to hear how it changes the flavor for you. So make sure to comment down below. Thank you for your support. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.